Good morning, everyone. I am Flordelisa Gumahob, and for today's discussion, I will discuss the Article 1315 and the Article 1316. So, Article 1315 is the contracts are perfected by mere consent, and from that moment, the parties are bound not only to the fulfillment of what has been expressly stipulated, but also to all consequences which, according to their nature, may be in keeping with good faith, usage, and law. So for example, this illustration is Anne is the employer and Brian is the employee. So the classification of contracts according to perfection. So consensual contracts of that which is perfected by mere consent of the parties. So, when an employer hires Brian, an employee, as soon as both have agreed to the terms of employment, a contract commences. So, for the real contracts or what which is perfected in addition to the above by the delivery of the things subject matter of contract. So Anne sold a horse to Brian for 15,000. The details of these contracts as regard the place of delivery of the horse and payment of the price, the time of delivery and payment, and etc. are not included. So these details are furnished by law and have been taken up in the various provision of the code. So to all consequences which according to their nature may be in keeping with good faith, usage, and law. So that's the Article 1315. So Anne agreed to sell his horse to Brian. So it was stipulated that Anne should deliver the horse to Brian. So the next day in case Anne has the obligation to deliver the horse and the next day as expressly stipulated in the contract. So na siya sa kontrata. So Anne has also the obligation to take care of the horse pending the delivery and to warrant that he has the right to sell the horse. So although nothing is said about the obligation in the contracts, as this in keeping with good faith, usage, and for the Article 1316, according to Brian Glenn Fabiana, Article 1316, real contracts such as deposit, pledge, and commoditum are not perfected until the delivery of the objective of the obligation. For the deposit, a deposit is constituted from the moment a person receives a thing belonging to another, so with the obligation of safely keeping it and returning the same. If the safekeeping of the things delivered is not the principal purpose of the contract, so there is no deposit but some other contract. For the pledge, a pledge is a contract by virtue of which one person delivers to another a movable or instrument evidencing incorporeal rights for the purpose of securing a principal obligation. So with the understanding that when the obligation is fulfilled, the things or the instrument shall be returned by the creditor to the debtor with its fruits and accession. For the commoditum is a species of bailment by which one of the parties blinds himself to return the other certain personal chattels which the latter delivers to him to be used by him without reward. So it is actually a loan for use. When one enters into a contract of a pledge, the contract is not perfected until the object pledged to the creditor. So I have here example. So example for Mr. Louis. So suppose Mr. Louis wants to convert his 24-carat ring to money because he is in dire financial constraints and he need cash. So thereafter he approached Mr. Tambunting, the cashier of ZYZ pawn shop, in order to constitute a contract of pledge. The ring must be placed in the possession of Mr. Tambunting.